We are live 364 days a year. What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made with YouTube.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
How do you not get sushi after Monday Night Raw?
Welcome to Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast, a show where a rotating cast of wrestling fans from around the world come and share and debate their opinions, with live comments from all of you shown throughout, as after all, fans are what makes wrestling so special. So sit back, grab a beverage, and enjoy the show.
What is going on, everyone? It's your boy Shad Talks Graps, and we are back with another installment of the Wrestling Republic daily broadcast. Things may or may have not got strange last night on Monday Night Raw, and we're here to talk about all of it, man. It may turn you a little upside down, but I'm sure that you guys are going to love this episode a little bit more than you loved yesterday's episode. And no, I do not have Delightful Derek on air. We wish we did. I tried to budget it for Ben. He said we have to lower our expenses this year. Whatever. Miss on his behalf. But I do have a great panel today. First and foremost, we're going to kick it out to Philadelphia. My dog, Josh, how are you doing, bro?
What's up, everybody? What's up? Yeah, we wanted Delightful Derek on the show, but unfortunately, Raw last night was not delightful enough to the point where he said, we're not gonna come on the show. So obviously, with that and Ben's expenses and cutting down, 2026, we gotta keep the bank account steady for this year. So unfortunately, Delightful Derek is not showing up. But I'm all good. I'm ready to go. Talking Monday Night Raw. I'm excited to be here.
No doubt, man. And it's always a pleasure to have you on the panel today, too, bro. Last but not least, man, you see him on shows with me plenty of times on Tuesdays, specifically this one. And I don't think he's feeling very delightful like Derek is, but he is channeling his Eddie Munson right now. From the Hellfire Club himself, we got Jordy in the bank.
Yeah, man, I'm here. I put a bit of effort in. I wore a Stranger Things outfit. Would have been nice if we'd have seen a little bit of that last night, wouldn't it? I will actually take that back. Corey Graves, I appreciate the effort. But yeah, there was some wrestling. There was some Stranger Things stuff. I'm a huge fan of both, so I should have loved it, but I didn't. But yeah, we'll talk about it.
For sure, man. And you know what? We are going to talk about it in the landscape of Monday Night Raw. Don't worry. If you have any Stranger Things comments that y'all want to let out, more than welcome to.
Yeah.
But we will talk about the show as a whole. And also, Corey Graves was probably the only person that may have watched that show.
It felt like it, didn't it?
Yeah. And
that
that
was
was
like Michael Cole did not know what was going on.
He had no clue.
Michael Cole's like, that's part of the show. What?
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about what started the show yesterday. And this is a women's tag team title match. The champions at the time, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane versus Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, also known as Rio. Not, the GOAT that's in AEW, but Rio, spelled R-H-I-Y-O. They've been having this ongoing feud for quite a while now. A lot of it stems from Asuka kind of bullying Io, turning on Io, and, Rhea having her issues with her. And now, they became the champions and they were gunning for them titles. Rhea and Io are our new tag team champions. I thought this was a good match. Obviously, you have four incredible competitors like these four ladies. It's going to go out and deliver. And it's a big moment, man. This is a title that I think the WWE has put a lot of emphasis in the lineage of it in the last, year and some change at this point, right? When you went from a teams of like Bianca and Jade, Bianca and Naomi, to Alexa and Charlotte, to the Kabuki Warriors again, now to Rhea and Io. It seems like they're really putting a big emphasis on creating the division and kind of giving you some heavy hitters. So all in all, I liked it, but I want to know what you guys thought. Josh, I'm going to start with you. What are your thoughts on the opener last night and our new tag team champions?
Yeah, Shad, like you said, I think WWE is putting a good amount of work and emphasis on these belts, and it shows because last night, whether or not how much it really was, it was a Stranger Things collab, which is obviously a huge thing right now in the world. So to put them on first and to have all these new viewers that have watched Stranger Things and they're like, oh, hey, what's this collab? It's on Netflix. I guess I'll put it on. And it's WWE Raw. And for them to be the first match of the night, that's also a big deal. And I'm sure there were a lot of people around the world that have never seen WWE before and put it on and saw that match. And yeah, in my opinion, I like the match. I think, like you said, it's four of the best competitors they got in that division. So it's hard for them to not have a good match. I thought Io Sky stood out like she always does. Rhea Ripley obviously does. I would have liked to see some cheating spots because I felt like this was predictable. I felt like I knew Rio was going to win the belts, and I felt like there weren't a lot of believable pinfalls or near falls for Asuka and Sane to like kind of make it look like they had a shot to win. I felt like the whole time I was kind of just waiting for that 3 count from Rio or Io, but I wasn't. Like I said, I wasn't surprised by the title change. The Kabuki Warriors had it for a long time. It felt like the right time for a title change, in my opinion, especially it was a bigger show. At least it felt like a bigger show in the beginning. But I think they'll probably hold the titles until WrestleMania. That's Rhea and Sky, of course. And I enjoyed the match overall. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, and I definitely I like the standpoint that you mentioned in the beginning where you said getting the eyes out there for potentially new viewers on Netflix that are Stranger Things fans. I kind of thought it was smart because you put Rhea Ripley out there in the initial standpoint of it. I think Rhea Ripley is one of the superstars that kind of just pops out and is a big, just like has the potential to be, if not already, a big star that's outside of professional wrestling. Maybe if Hollywood calls her at some point, she'll open the door. I don't know. This is somebody that Drake said is her muse for his upcoming album coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's ignited a newfound love for him, and that's Drake, man. That's the certified lover boy. So to me, I thought that was smart. But I like what you mentioned in regards to the match because I don't disagree with you. To me, it kind of kicked up in the second half of the match. And I want to know what you maybe think about it too, Jordy. The Kabuki Warriors. They feel like they are a team because these two women are amazing superstars. They come out in the, gear and whatnot. There's something as a tag team as of late that hasn't connected. They don't do as many cohesive stuff as a tag. And like Josh said, your heels, like I feel like there should be some trickery and cheating in it as well. I mean, can you kind of, what are your thoughts on that? And also just the title change. I know you are a big Rhea Ripley fan too.
Yeah, huge. And I'm happy for those two to pick up the tag titles. I think it's great. And I'm happy that Rhea's not just this like wrecking machine that's just plowing everyone in the divisions down because it kind of it hampered her a little bit. And I feel like we've got out of that now. And she's getting booked in a way that we kind of care about because like a lot of us do care about the friendship between Rhea and Io off screen. It looks genuine, so that makes you do kind of care. Yeah, I agree. I would agree that there was a bit of a lack of heel maneuvers last night. I mean, if there's going to be a title change, I'm kind of one of them guys. Like I'd rather see Asuka miss someone, like I'd get them missed out, so do something. But yeah, it did seem a little bit, I wouldn't say cookie cutter because it was a good match, but yeah, it was very predictable. At no point did I kind of think that the Kabuki Warriors were going to retain. And I will kind of play devil's advocate a little bit on the decision of putting Rhea first. I think Rhea's one of them people that's actually not bigger than wrestling, but her fame is starting to go outside of the boundaries of pro wrestling. So, like you said, Drake knows her, right? There's other people, I'm sure, that know her. So, if you're a Stranger Things fan and you know about Rhea Ripley, you would turn off after the first match, is why I think it wasn't the most smart idea. I would be interested to see what the viewing figures did after that first match. So that's why I'm not sure it was the best idea to put her on first. I probably would have left Rhea a little bit later in the show to try and keep that viewer retention a little bit. But yeah, it was a solid match. There was nothing wrong with the match. It was a good match. I just maybe would have wanted, like you said, to be on the edge of my seat a little bit more in a match with these four very, very talented women in the ring.
Understood. I have a question for y'all though, because it made me think. Because we got to talk about the previous tag champs before the Boogie Warriors. That was Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, right? Yeah. They, in continuing to be a tag team unit, in my humble opinion, is a detriment to the world title picture and the singles competitors on SmackDown, because you're putting two main event women in a tag team where you see right now on SmackDown, Jade is lacking competitors on the other end with Julia and Chelsea Green. They're hot potatoing that title, but when Chelsea was champ, she was feuding with the same people that Jade is feuding with right now, and vice versa for Julia. I look at Raw, and you put these four women, particularly I'll give the three that are Asuka, Rhea, and Io in a tag team picture. Are we putting a little bit too much emphasis with the quality of stars, making these super teams, as I would, put it in a basketball term, right? KD and Steph, Wade and LeBron, Jordan and Pippen, or where it becomes an issue because I'm looking at Stephanie Vaquer and she's the world champion, but she's feuding with people that I put in the picture that are a high mid-card competitor. I mean, we're not mixing Jaden, Stephanie with some of these top ladies. Do y'all think that this could potentially be a problem on Raw now that Rhea and Io got their hands tied with the tag titles?
I think Jade's waiting for Bianca. I think that's the Mania match. Therefore, taking and I think because they've got that locked in that we're going to do Jade and Bianca at Mania. I think you kind of already have to start thinking where we're going to put Charlotte and Alexa. And I think right now where we are, it looks a bit weird. And I completely agree. I think post Rumble, once Bianca maybe has returned and it's quite clear that that's going to be the Mania match. And we then would be in a position if Charlotte and Alexa weren't together going, what the hell are these two going to do at Mania? Because we need to get them on the card. But whereas right now, if we just persevere a little bit longer, I think once we get Bianca back, it will all start to fall into place. But yeah, I agree. Chelsea as the US champion, Julia as the US champion shouldn't be feuding with the same people as Jade is. It's just that's not right. There's an issue there on the roster. And rather than fixing it, I feel like they're just going, just keep going a little bit longer, wait for Bianca to get back and we're good.
Josh, I want to know your thoughts in that too. Like, what do you in regards to? Because obviously we agree on the SmackDown part, but do you think this could potentially become an issue for Vaquer?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, I think in the men's division, we're seeing so many people in NXT get opportunities to come up, and like Javon Evans, even before he was officially on Raw as of last night, he was just coming up in wrestling matches. Like, I think they should be doing the same thing for the NXT women's division. I mean, I know you guys can talk, Shad. I know you know a lot about NXT, obviously, and so does Jordy. And, I think there's a lot of women in NXT. So Ruka, just to mention one, I mean, she got the platform on John Cena's last match to wrestle. That's just one of those people, even Blake Monroe, one of those people that can come up and wrestle a match and even maybe be an opponent, whether it's an official call-up or not. I think if they are waiting for Bianca, instead of taking these upper mid-card stars that aren't getting as much traction, I think call up some people, give them a feud, and who knows, if it's a banger, then you're going to call them up officially. I think that's the way to go right now.
I do like that idea a lot, especially just how stacked the women's division is on NXT. You could name a ton of people. The people you just named are phenomenal choices there as well. So it's gonna be cool to see, man. We'll have to wait and see. But like we said, congrats to them. Let's get through a couple comments first and foremost. We got the bro numero 1 Superfly saying, hello, last night's Raw was a bit of a letdown with a great idea to do a crossover, but it didn't capitalize on doing some special entrances or even bringing actual Stranger Things cast members. Jordy, we have the green light to talk about it real quickly, and obviously, I think we all have watched the Stranger Things. Do y'all think like I feel like we could have got like at least a couple cameos, right, from the actors? It didn't even have to be, like you didn't need to bring Millie Bobby Brown. You didn't need to bring, Winona Ryder. You could have got some people that maybe are still relatively, like I mentioned, Delightful Derek. I mean, he's a
Murray.
young kid.
Murray, that's what I was gonna right.
Murray would have been.
Derek would
amazing.
also be ideal for a spot with a heel if he told him to suck his fat one. Like, it would be ideal.
You're right.
It would have worked. He wouldn't have had to do much. I also think a VT just send in a video, like
Right.
or some of the wrestlers we see with Halloween Havoc every year. We get kind of Halloween inspired gear. That was all I was genuinely expecting, and I would have been like, I'm happy if we get that, and we didn't. And I was like, oh, like it feels like it was just a last minute decision, a panic decision, sprung on the wrestlers, sprung on the talent last minute, because I know well enough that had some of them had time, they would have got gear made. They didn't have enough time. Doing it when Stranger Things is officially finished was a silly move when they could have done it last week on a pre-recorded episode, a pre-recorded special Stranger Things episode. It's just so many missed opportunities.
I know, and I honestly, I'm not going to put it on the wrestlers because obviously your ring gear is your ring gear.
Yeah.
Your look is your look. It would have been cool to see some incorporations tied to it, but I mean, it's a tough one because they did put a lot on this show. I mean, we had 3 title matches, and we're going to cover 2 other ones just here in a second. He also says he did enjoy the tag match. He said it was a fun opening tag match. Bit surprised that Rhea and Io won the titles, though, but not in a bad way. It just surprised me. We got my boy Fern in the building, man. What up, Fern? Saying we got DCX Warlord letting us know that TNA has signed content creator and YouTuber BDE. That is really dope to see, man. Brandon is a really talented wrestler, honestly. Like, if y'all been covering it, like been, just peeping the social media, he's really put in a lot of work into pro wrestling in the indies. And I thought he's actually done good in his little cameos thus far in TNA. So that's a cool signing. And for us being from the same realm and world as him, it's awesome to see, man. So, hopefully, man, somebody sign my dog Josh here soon.
Right.
And then we got the bro Donnie De Silva saying Rhea and Io to win the titles because their title loss will lead into an epic Mania match. So yeah, I mean that obviously those two always put on bangers whenever they get the chance to. So it's never a bad idea for that. Let's talk about a match that got set up for next week and a segment that I really enjoyed last night. The ring general Gunther, just continuously letting us know that he made John Cena tap out like Too Short's favorite word. If you know, you know. I can't curse on here. And AJ Styles came out and he wasn't having any of that, man. And Gunther just talking his talk to him. AJ Styles slapped him. He Chris, Will Smith, the Chris rocked him smack. And he told him backstage after it when he was, when Gunther was telling Adam Pearce, he's like, what you going to do? You ain't going to do nothing. You ain't going to do nothing. This leads to a match next week. Now, I thought it was really good. I thought it really built to a nice, dynamic between them. Matches next week. I want to say this. A lot of people have been labeling Gunther to just be the ultimate retirement guy. And AJ's obviously not been shy. He says this is probably going to be his last year in pro wrestling. Curious to see, though. They're doing this early on. It probably means that this isn't going to be AJ's last opponent, which I'm cool with. But I like it as Gunther's first opponent since the whole Cena Saturday night main event situation. But I want to know, Josh, what are your thoughts, man? Gunther, AJ Styles, next week, all that happened yesterday. Break it down for me.
Yeah, you can't not love Gunther and AJ Styles going at it, really. If you're a professional wrestling fan, if you follow wrestling at all, you know Gunther, you definitely know AJ Styles. 2 of the best ever, in my opinion. And it's the first time they've gone head-to-head, so hell yeah, why not? Like you said, it's happening next week on Raw. This happened very quick. A match announcement, something that seems like this should be a WrestleMania match. Like, in my opinion, this match could headline any show of any promotion. Like, this is how big this match could be. Not how the match is not that big right now, but it could be with time and stories told. It could be a match that could main event a WrestleMania if it needed to. So I don't I don't know what's gonna exactly happen. I don't think that they will wrestle this match and then they won't ever see each other again. I do think they will wrestle at WrestleMania in AJ Styles' retirement match. I'm not sure if Styles will retire in April, but I can see it happening. Gunther versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Gunther retires AJ Styles. I mean, man, talk about a heel, a mega heel, and then retiring John Cena and AJ Styles. I mean, the question is it doing too much just having him retire everyone? Maybe. But in my opinion, like, since this retirement tour with Cena, I mean, he's generating legit heat. Sorry. Kids hate him, adults hate him. Like, he is the perfect heel right now. So WWE needs to sustain this for as long as possible. And in order to do that, in my opinion, they have to just let him keep dominating. So I think something like next week, we're going to see Gunther cheat to get a win. Then maybe we go away from this for a little bit. Then the Royal Rumble, we see maybe Styles eliminate Gunther, like a lucky, shoulder while he's on the apron and gets eliminated. And he's making all these facials like, oh my God, what? No way, it was you. And then that builds up to Gunther versus AJ Styles. And the story being told is kind of Styles, like we saw last night, Styles kind of standing up to the bully out of respect for John Cena, but also out of respect for himself and the fans. I think that's a great way to build this story. And that's what I hope happens. I think that's what should happen and what I hope happens at the same time. Let me know.
I like it. I like it. I think it is something that can kind of get built up or whatnot. Donnie has a really good comment here too. He says they could revisit this towards the end of the year. AJ wants that win against Gunther before he retires. I mean, we just know next week, regardless, like if this is the only time or if they wrestle a million times before AJ retires, that it's going to be like a special match. These are two of the best in-ring competitors of our time. I mean, AJ is probably one of the best of all time, and if I'm being completely honest with you. It's crazy to see how long he's been wrestling, from watching him when I was a teenager to being a grown man now. It's always dope to see. We got my boy Siam Slam Chowder in here saying one of the best, he course corrected himself, one of the most anticipated matches of 2026, and it's only happening on an episode of Raw. Come on. So he wants it to be on a bigger platform. We also got Fernando Zayas saying this match should wait until later when AJ is ready for retirement. Like we said, man, we don't know what is going to happen, right? We have to kind of take the time, wait for it. I do think that Gunther is going to be treated very delicately with his booking because he did, like we mentioned, made John Cena tap like Too Short's favorite word. And I think they have big plans for him going into the year. So we'll have to wait and see. Jordy, it's okay, man. It's okay.
It's boring. It's boring is what it is. He's lost the heat already, bro. He's not getting booked well, and it's gonna fall off a cliff soon if they don't do something about
it. Just because he's spamming that he made your
genuinely right. If you go look back at Gunther's appearances, first week it was atomic nuclear heat, and now people are quite happily letting him speak. They're not bothered.
They weren't Brooklyn though.
It was bad, right? I should hate him the most, shouldn't I? I feel nothing. I'm just like, all right, cool. This guy's here, right? Like and it's the same with Gunther versus AJ. If they do it right now, I don't know if either person winning is a good decision. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't think Gunther should necessarily beat AJ right now. And I really don't think Gunther should lose after beating Cena. So, like, pulling the trigger so fast, I'm like, yeah, I've got my concerns. But like you said, a professional wrestling fan, excited to see the match itself. Like, no doubt in my mind.
I respect it. I think this is gonna make you a little sad, though.
Yeah.
Maxine Dupree was not dethroned last night. Let's fix this real quick, Ben Allison, because Maxine Dupree didn't lose last night. She never won. She rightfully gave back the belt that belonged to Becky Lynch last night. Okay? Miserable Maxine knows that Becky Lynch has always been the Intercontinental Champion. While she has not been locked in and worrying about professional wrestling and being a real IC champion like she claims she is, all she was doing was go get married, all this stuff. Nah. If you were IC champ, you locked in. You should have been at the dungeon extra hours. You should have been bothering TJ and Natty. But nope, you wasn't ready. And what happened? You had to give that title back. Becky Lynch, the greatest wrestler of all time. I'm not just saying it. All right. I'm not just saying it. Sports Illustrated is saying it. Jordy in the Bank is saying it. My next door neighbor is saying it. Has finally been returned her title. And miserable Maxine can go back to catering, eating pasta salad. No. chilling, hanging out with Otis. What, Jordy? What you gotta say about the match?
The match itself. Not my favorite match between these two, I would say. The decision to take the belt off Maxine, I don't know if it's the right one. It's just, I feel like we have a moment right now, or we had, because it's gone, whether I like it or not. We had a moment where it was like lightning in a bottle. We've got the crowd are behind Maxine. She's putting on good matches. Let's just let it ride, you know. It's like she was like, that's exactly what the mid-card title should be almost there for, right? It's like, and I just feel like there's some feuds that we didn't get. And I know a lot of people are saying that Becky and AJ is probably the plan. Becky and AJ doesn't need an IC title. I'm not saying it might, but listen, by the time we get to Mania, if that's where the match is, it might not have one by then. AJ could cost her Becky again. It could well happen, and it could be without a title. I don't really see, because Ben El Jefe was saying that he thinks that Maxine's too green for a run right now, and I'm like, but how do we know? Like, how are we ever going to know? Because like, she's ticking all the boxes. She's done nothing wrong. We're just assuming that she's going to. So take the belt off her. Like, I don't agree with that. So I think it's a bit of a poor decision. However, I will say Becky Lynch elevates. She's got the Midas touch. She elevates everything she goes near. She's already elevated the IC title. She's elevated Maxine. Whoever is the next person to be lucky enough to get the Becky Lynch rub with that IC title feud, looks like it could be Ivy Nile. Good for them. But yeah, I just feel a bit bad for Maxine. It just kind of sucks a little bit. I don't know how we get back there. I guess you could make an argument for that. She's faced adversity now, there, so fans might even be more behind her, right? So yeah, tricky one. But Maxine can't moan because it wasn't the cleanest win when she won it first time round. So like Becky holding the ropes is kind
of for sure. And miserable Maxine will be Mary and Joy at some point. She is married now. Married Maxine is what I should really call her. So much that apparently there is a rumor that she was dropping the title because she was going on her honeymoon. How long was she going to be on a honeymoon for? Like 6 months? Like I want to know what trip she's taking.
I did 2 weeks on my honeymoon, to be fair. I don't know if that's...
I know, a couple weeks is like most...
I didn't get stripped from my Tuesday show position from wrestling.
Yeah, I think they could survive 2 weeks without the IC belt on Raw.
How long did Chelsea go not defending the US belt?
Man, jokes aside, if someone really thought she dropped the title because she's going on a honeymoon, maybe one of the most silliest thoughts that I can have there. I do agree with this though. Maxine is a star in the making, period. This loss will lead her to getting the title back. In time, it won't look like a fluke. She's really young, by the way. People like this isn't. She's not dead in the water. She's like, look. She has been established and made by feuding with Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch has definitely elevated her, but I have to give her credit. She's not someone that has just floundered there. She's risen to the occasion. Match aside, I didn't like last night's match at all. Personally, I thought it wasn't a well wrestled match. Out of all the matches they've had against each other, and they've had some good matches against each other. feel like they've wrestled like 20 times right now, but it was one of the weaker ones. But the thing is this, though, when you talk about storyline perspective, Maxine has done something, and that's being able to stand toe-to-toe with Becky on the mic. Becky Lynch, in my opinion, is the greatest women's wrestler, like, on the mic. Like, live mic, cut a promo on anybody. She does that, and she's so good at it. But Maxine didn't, like, look minuscule versus her on that. Like, the promo they had last week, she looked confident. She looked like she had a lot of passion towards it. I think she's not dead in the water by any means. Like, she's definitely in a good position in her career, and she's only going to get better as years, accumulate for her as she becomes a superstar in this company. So whether she gets the title back this year, whether she gets a title in 5 years, she's got a lot of time on her behalf, and I'm not one that, counts time like Ben Allison does, but she's
28
young.
is young, bro. 28 is young. Even in Ben Allison language, that's young.
Yeah.
28 is young in Ben Allison's mind. Stop it. She's way better than Chelsea Green on the mic.
Donnie, my man. Yeah, she is no Chelsea.
You think she's a better promo than Chelsea Green live mic?
I trust Chelsea with my life.
No, absolutely not. That is a Canadian trope, Donnie. Stop it, okay?
Anyway, do you know what Chelsea also would have worn Stranger Things gear last night. Just gonna say
she probably would have. Honestly,
she wanted to worn Star Trek gear to promote her own show. But anyway, moving on.
Star Trek gear was fly though.
She was dressed like Powerline, really, wasn't she?
That's what I thought too last night. What's it called? And then now Maxine didn't have any Stranger Things. I know. I don't know. Donnie, you know Maxine. Ask her if she watches Stranger Things, bro. Get us that scoop. We need to know.
I'm convinced.
And by the way, watch Donnie and Jimmy Corderas' interview with Maxine Dupree, by the way. Like, it's a really good interview. She's a delightful person. She's a delightful Derek in that manner. But let's talk about this main event. This is what was booked for the last some odd weeks. This is what everyone has been waiting for. I feel like the first Netflix Raw every year has to be big time. Last year we had some big time matches. Last night we had Braun Breaker with his boys division versus CM Punk championship match. Braun Breaker falls short. Just a little short, Brawny boy. I thought this was a very interesting match because I enjoyed it for, like, out of everything last night, I thought this was the most enjoyable in-ring match. But there was just a chemistry issue. I'm not entirely sure. But to me, I think you got to put, like, to me, it's one of those things where I feel like Braun is a legitimate freak athlete. Like, the dude is a NFL player, right? He played college football. He made it to the NFL. And Punk is one of the best wrestlers of all time. But CM Punk is also at the latter age of his career. Like, he has less good years compared to how many great years he's had behind. And I'm not saying he needs to retire or anything like that, but you could tell like the speed and a lot of the stuff within that kind of felt a little like awkward in a sense. Obviously, there were a couple botches that occurred in it, but I do think they kind of weaved through all of that and they had themselves a great match. The numbers were evened out. We had Ray, Penta, and Dragon Lee kind of kicking out the Vision on the side, and they got to go mano a mano. Punk comes out with the win. This is going to be very interesting to see what happens with Braun Breaker, because I personally think this was the absolute correct decision last night. If Braun Breaker is going to be world champion, it needs to be a crowning moment on an event that's going to establish him to be that main event guy when he is ready for it. And I got criticism from a lot of people saying that, well, he's ready now. Well, he's ready now. Well, he's ready now. Hold your horses, man. Let's not rush greatness. Let's get him in position for it. So I thought the choice was right, but I want to know what y'all thought. Josh, you as a young man yourself, younger than Braun Breaker too. What are your thoughts on it, man? Did you like the match? And also, do you think the right choice was made yesterday?
Yes, I agree with you. I think the right choice was made yesterday. I think you brought up a good point. I think Braun Breaker has got to win the championship on a big event. And I think it goes under the radar that these big events, PLEs, are now on ESPN, right? ESPN is a sports world, a media, and Braun Breaker is an athlete. There's many professional wrestlers out there that don't exactly look the part of what some people think a pro wrestler is and what the old timers was when everyone was just a big bodybuilder. But that is what Braun Breaker is. So in my opinion, for new wrestling fans that are checking out WWE on ESPN, I think they will gravitate more towards Braun Breaker because he is an athlete and he does moves that you could, your favorite football player or basketball player kind of relate to in a way. He's that quick, he's that agile, he can jump that high, stuff like that. That's another thing that I think about a lot. But in terms of the match, I also love how much Braun Breaker and his spear was protected last night. So unsurprisingly, I think CM Punk won. I was not expecting Breaker to win that match that early. Like you said, it's got to be a crowning win. It's got to be on a bigger stage than just Monday Night Raw. I get it was a collab. I get it was the first show of the year. But still, there's bigger events in the company for him to win it at. And the story of the match was that if Braun Breaker can hit the spear, it's over. And Punk outsmarted him twice to avoid it. And he still had to use 2 GTSs to put Breaker down for that 3 count. So, look, in my opinion, you can tell Breaker is right there on the step of being that guy on Monday nights. He is just putting his foot in the door, and he couldn't get it done yet. And I think eventually he's going to get that World Heavyweight Championship rematch. He's going to hit that spear that he's been trying to hit on Punk, and it's only going to take one spear, I think. And I think that's going to happen in Las Vegas at WrestleMania. And if it doesn't happen there, it's going to happen somewhere else.
Yes, and I think it is one of those things where it a Mania moment, a SummerSlam, whatever it may be, it could do a lot for him. I mean, we got Donnie disagrees. He says he thinks he's way more ready to be world champ than he realizes. The people realize I would have flipped the switch and done a whole Raw reset with 3 title changes last night. I mean, Jordy, do you feel that, as I like to call him, Woof Woof Boy, should have become the champion? We should have had 3 resets last night.
I don't know if he should. But I definitely think could, and that's where I definitely agree with Donnie on this. I think he's absolutely ready. I think he's more ready than people realize. I do like that he's not going to get that many lost title match losses, I don't think, Braun Breaker. So I do kind of like that Punk's got one over on him. And like Josh very well put it there about the spear, by Punk winning this match because Braun didn't hit a spear, they've actually made the spear look better, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? So it very much paints a picture in our head that it's like, okay, Punk won because he didn't hit that move that we were saying. If he hits it, it's done. So it just builds that up a bit more. So if Punk isn't going to kick out of one spear, why would anyone else? So it's like, and this, Ben Allison will be thrilled about this, about them protecting some finishers and not overdoing them. So I like them things for sure, but I will certainly sit and argue / debate with anybody that thinks that Braun Breaker isn't ready to be a world champion, because I think he absolutely is.
Man,
it's just picking when. I do agree with you guys that perhaps the kind of not great Stranger Things collab, there's bigger moments. And if he's going to be the face of the future, you want that montage moment for him holding the first title. You want it to be at SummerSlam at WrestleMania. You don't want it to be on a Monday Night Raw episode. So I do agree with you all there as well. So it's a tricky one. I don't know what was the correct move there.
For sure. And there's a couple comments that are pretty crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you, because we got the homie Cieo Gunabi. If I'm saying your name right, please give me a medal for it, bro. That's a dope name. This is the most dumbest decision by far, and this is the beginning of the year. Woo. Man, already the dumbest decision of the year when the year just started. We got number 1 Superfly saying also, I think people forgot that this was Punk's first defense since winning the title since last November. We're really, were WWE really going to let Punk lose the title in his first defense? It seems like they weren't. Becky and Punk are done. This is so obvious. Their fall off is so absurd. Hey, say sorry. Relax on the Becky part of that. Know who you talking to like that, bro? Because that's false. It's fake news. I don't know where'd you cite that from? We got Clark here saying, Jordy, get the tables.
I got a bat instead.
Barbed wire bat there.
You Negan?
Yeah. Lucille.
He really thinks Break is ready to go.
It is Lucille. Like, it is exactly what it is.
Oh, that's fire.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
I don't have Steve Harrington's bat with nails in, but I've got Negan's bat with barbed wire on.
Well, you got Steve Harrington's hair, so, you know.
My God.
Josh, before we leave the show, we got to do this since they didn't do it. If you could give one comparison to a Stranger Things character to a WWE superstar, what would it be? Jordy.
Whoa, you need to hit me. You need to give me some warning if you're gonna do this to me, brother.
Going quick fire. Just give me one. Give me one.
Dom and Derek.
Dom is Delightful Derek.
Yeah, Delightful Dom or Dipshit Dom or Dipshit Derek, or you choose. You choose.
Okay.
All right.
What you got, Josh?
I think Steve Harrington is like a Tyler Breeze.
Oh, I like that one actually.
In a way.
Kind of do have a little bit of the same aura.
Yeah.
Man, I am kind of feeling like
I've got
when
one.
I see some. What you say?
I have got one now. You go.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Sol Ruka and Max.
Sol
Ruka and Max Mayfield. Yeah. They seem like they're skaters. Like I feel like they would get along.
Okay, I like that one. Obviously, we got to go with the GOAT. That is Dustin Henderson. And to me, if I had to compare Dustin to somebody on the WWE side currently, he kind of gives me a little bit of like that nice baby face. You always root for him type of feel. He kind of feels like Sami Zayn to me a little bit.
Say that,
yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah. And I got one more. I think in terms of who would get along, Vecna and Snitsky.
I thought you were gonna say Vecna's
They would
Triple
get
A.
along. They would get along.
They both just want to kick kids all over the place, right?
I feel like Eddie would get along with Aleister Black as well.
Yeah,
man.
That gang.
And then Clark says, "I've never seen the show." Well,
you should go
everybody
watch
in the comments who have not participated in that game. Seems like you're not the only one. It's only us on here. But I digress, man. That is all the time we do have today, man. Thank you guys all in the comments on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, X, all of that for tuning in, man. We really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe per usual. We'll be back tonight. NXT Off the Air, New Year's Evil review show. Myself, Clark, and Drizzy will be breaking it down right after NXT is done. And then we'll be back tomorrow, same time for the daily. We'll be having a mailbag Wednesday, News Wednesday, whatever we call that. We're going to be doing all of that. Y'all have a good one, man. Y'all take care. Deuces.